Good evening, everybody. It's
Woo!
Wednesday. Welcome into
Special night.
Auto Rhythm. Yes, it is. Welcome into Auto Rhythm Fantasy Sports. I am your host, Jamie, and my lovely sidekick, Eli. Oh, we
Some
do
might
have
call
a,
me.
a
Some might call me the co-host. Some might call me late. So you can call me whatever you want. It's Wednesday night. Wednesday night dynamite, baby. We're back. We're
yeah,
back. Is
yes,
is Tim joining us?
yes. Well, he will be joining us. He is actually on the road, so he is actually going to be streaming with us via phone. So yeah, I thought he was actually going to be on the computer, but unfortunately not. So yeah, it's one of those unforeseen circumstances that something like this happens. But yeah, other than that,
So it's like
everybody's right. Everybody's
had to
kind of
have him.
wondering. Yep, everybody's kind of wondering what's going on today. We're actually we're gonna dig into some AFC East, kind of dive into all that fancy, nice, and the Bills and freaking trying to think of what else. Bills, Dolphins. Can't think now. Jets and the Patriots.
Hey, I I don't blame you, Jay. The Patriots are awful. I'm sorry we even have to talk about them, but apparently they're a part of the division, so got to bring them up tonight too. Jets, I'm looking forward to. Now, this is the first time in a while that I've been excited about talking about the New York Jets. I'm liking what they're doing, but we'll see what Tim thinks, and if we get any comments, you know what? Why the hell not? If you haven't joined our Discord yet, what are you doing? Get on there. You know what? We had a maybe we shouldn't mention this, but I'm gonna do it because we're pretty transparent on this show. We kind of had a fallout with our friend Chad. Chad's joined us on quite a few streams we've done. So, but that all happened on Discord. If you're not a part of Discord, you missed the fireworks. You missed the entire show. So, but
Oh.
Jay, where else can they find us if they can't
Wh-
do the Discord thing? Like, what else? Where else are we at?
Well, you guys can catch us on Spotify, Apple Pods, and Google Pods. I mean, I'm a Spotify lover. I mean, I'm always on Spotify, and we actually gained a guy on Spotify. Appreciate that, man. That's awesome. So I mean,
Great,
there's another
we're moving up.
there's a we're
It
slowly moving up.
can also find you guys in Sleeper where Eli's on the clock.
Yeah, right.
Oh, am I?
Where his ass like takes like the whole day to fucking make a pick.
Well, I have a young lady here that's asking for my address, but I'm gonna put that on hold real quick, guys. We're gonna make a live pick. This wasn't part of the script, but I don't care. What are we looking at? We got a
Part of
rookie
this-
draft going on here. We might mention it a little bit later.
Don't worry,
Third
it won't
round
be a
here.
good
No, quiet. So first round, I took Bryce. I'll let you guys talk about your picks too. Took Bryce Young in the first round. I'm liking Luke Musgrave from Green Bay. I think he's going to be a stud tight end. Took him in the second. On the board right now, let's see. We got Brown, who I think might be the eventual successor to Joe Mixon and Cincy. He's on the board. Hendon Hooker, who could possibly see some time. If Jared Goff falls off this year and the Lions move off him, he's on the board. Could use a receiver maybe. Mims, the kid from Denver. Boutte. You know what? We're going to talk about him a little later. You know what, Jay? I'm going to stretch a little bit. I'm going to take Kayshon Boutte from the Patriots here with my third round pick.
Oh my goodness gracious! Oh, look at that. He finally makes a pick almost there after 8 hours. Man, you know what?
Slacking
I'm
off.
gonna.
one. I said it would.
Yeah, you're slack.
I said it wouldn't be a good one.
Yep, I more than likely. I think that drink has got him a little senile.
Yeah.
And well, him and his booty, well, will be out the door here pretty soon. Oh,
Oh my.
honestly, what takes, everybody's asking, it's like, what takes this guy all day to actually try to make a pick? And I'm like, well, he's probably trying to get some fatty, or he likes those cougars. He's
I
probably
like
messaging.
I'm not biased, guys. I like the Cougs. I like big girls. I like small girls. I like Asian girls, Hawaii, native girls, whatever, bring them all on. Bring them all. You know, I'm busy with that, and then I'm slinging that booze. I got a special drink in here. So you know, I'm busy with things, but now I made a pick, and I promise I'll make a better one, possibly a running back in the 4th round.
A running back in the 4th round. Well, there probably will be trash in the 4th round more than likely. So most of all the good running backs are already taken.
He might be off the board by then, but I like Evans. I like the Evans kid from the Rams because you never. Rams don't really have. I mean, do you trust Cam Akers? No. Kyron Williams? No. So there's always a possibility that a Rams running back who's taken in the later rounds could get some action. So I might consider him if he's still there. But obviously, all the studs are A-Chain and Charbonnet. Like
you just call A
studs are gone. Get off the road, Tim.
But yeah, Tim here, he picked CJ Stroud and I think it's Jonathan Mingo from Carolina.
I like Mingo. It's a good pick.
Laporta went 2 picks before me. That's what I want.
Oh, gotcha. Yep. So do you think
fell to me at 14, which is number 5, so that's that was a gift.
Yeah.
And a super flex.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, I guess I can see Porta just because the Lions actually have a hard time with since Hawkinson has left. They had 2 other guys throughout the season. They were kind of mediocre that either one of them were getting a touchdown either one of the weeks and whatnot. So it was probably a good time for them to actually get a stud tight end, a tight end 1, I should say.
Yeah, I was just looking at that succession plan to Darren Waller. My tight end room is kind of weak right now, so.
Yeah, because you have let's see here. I was actually gonna take a look here.
Noah Gray.
Yeah. Walker is probably your better one out of that, and Gray. Honestly, I don't even. Was he a rookie last year? I don't even know offhand at the moment.
So Noah Gray is Kelsey's backup. That's my only hope is if something happens to Kelsey, then I have Gray.
Gotcha. Totally understand it.
If Kelsey retires after this year or next year, then hopefully Gray's the one that fills that role.
Yeah, hopefully, yeah, and he should at least see a good majority of the targets from. I think. Let's see here.
Hold up, guys. I was going to ask you guys quick. What do you think about Tucker Kraft? I know he's on the board.
I like him the best out of the 2 that were drafted to Green Bay.
Okay.
He's gonna
you like him better than
a lot later.
Crap.
It all depends on who Jordan Love builds that chemistry with, but Green Bay's never been other than Robert Tunyon's one decent year, they've never really been a big pass to the tight end team.
Yeah, not since Bubba Franks like 20 years ago.
Yeah, I was actually going to look here and see. Because they were. Let's see here. Crap. Let me look at because I want to see what they were ranked here quick, as far as tight end wise. Here, let's do this. I wanted to see. Where's it at?
Tim must be going through a tunnel.
He must be. Because they were about 19th or so, give or take, for pretty much tight end wise. So they were not kind of middle of the pack when it came to tight ends. So maybe with Kraft being there, maybe it'll give him a little bit of a boost. I actually took in our rookie draft, I took Addison off the board right away. I was debating between. I mean, I could have took JCN or where the heck is he? The kid from freaking Carolina, or not Carolina, Chargers. I was thinking about that.
Johnston.
John. I was debating on between those 2, and I'm like, well, the bad thing about Johnston is he might be a number 3. starting right away. And then I'm like, well, JSN is probably in the same boat too. He's gonna be, so he might be a number 3 coming in. And I was thinking Addison will probably be getting some.
JSN is going to fill the role that he's best at, and that's the slot role. That was one of the most perfect spots for him to be drafted to is Seattle, because now he's going to be put into a place where he can succeed.
More than likely, it all comes down to
Well, they're both. I was gonna say, Jay, they're both probably slot guys then, right? With Addison and
Lockett, and they could push Lockett to the outside too a little bit. They could toss him, but they might flop those roles too. So I mean, JSN could be playing in slot good majority of the time, or Lockett. So they'll probably flip flop between those two, outside inside. And then I took Addison with my second pick, which I was pretty happy with, because I think he'll start seeing some targets right away there. And then I took A-Chain with
love him.
Pick. Yeah, which
Jay, we'll talk about him a little later when we talk about the Dolphins, dude. But yeah, he is going to be a stud.
Let me explain my dislike for A-Chain.
Jameer. I thought we got rid of Chad. I thought we were all going to be in harmony tonight. What is this?
2013, there have been 6 running backs that have came into the league that are below 5'10" and under 205 pounds. 6 that have finished in the top 10. 3 of those top 10 finishes were by the same person, Austin Eckler. He's different. He gets the workload. The other 3, Danny Woodhead, Justin Forsett, and James White, all one-offs. The chances of A-Chain or Jahmyr Gibbs having those type of seasons are unlikely. I would take Jahmyr Gibbs more so than A-Chain just because of the draft capital. You get drafted at number 12, they obviously have some sort of plan for him. Now, hopefully that plan works out for him, but the statistics say that it's not likely those 2 running backs will be elite in the league.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah, I was gonna say they don't have. He doesn't have prototypical size. Obviously, that's probably why he fell. A-Chain I thought was a late first round, just in talent and productivity. He's probably a late first round guy, but with the. So I get what you're saying with the lack of size and some of the more successful backs, obviously, you got recently Derrick Henry, a few years back before that, Adrian Peterson, and guys of that size. But it's a gamble, but I get what you're getting at, but Gibbs is definitely you don't spend the 12th overall pick and take who they took where they took it, and not have. It's a tongue twister. Barry
Right?
Sanders, hold my beer.
Yeah.
Barry was 5'8", 205. I know.
Oh yeah.
And that was
more,
I mean, it was less athletic back then, but that was a more physical NFL, and Barry Sanders is one of the best of all time. So yeah, I'm not saying A-Chain's going to be Barry Sanders, but I think that down in Miami, they got plans for him, and then Dan Campbell in Detroit, they got plans for Gibbs. I think both those guys will be just fine, but we'll see.
The only downfall about A-Chain is you got Mustard and you got Jeff Wilson down there, and the other part of it about that too is now is Dalvin Cook going to end up being down there with Miami too as well, and that's gonna be the big thing that's gonna hurt A-Chain.
Definitely. That would definitely be a game changer, and that would kind of change. And my thinking with right now, let's assume that Dalvin Cook maybe goes to Cincy or stays in Minnesota or something. I just assume Wilson and Mostert are system backs. They're part of that San Francisco, that Kyle Shanahan system. So they're only going to be at a certain level, and I just think A-Chain might be able to bust through that. But yeah, Dalvin Cook, if he's there, A-Chain he could very well be looking at like practice squad or being like the third, fourth running back very easily.
Yep. And yeah, Sproles was small too, but I mean if you think about it, you got Sproles, and then who was the other kid, the other guy from
Maurice Jones-Drew.
That, and then you had the guy from the Saints too, Darren Sproles. Oh, never mind.
Yeah, it was Darren.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, that was my bad there. Yeah, so yeah, I mean a lot of these shorter guys, yeah, they're not typical bruisers. I mean, if you think about it, I mean look at the kid from Kansas State, the Cowboys drafted. He's only like 5'7", dude. He's about as tall as I am, and probably he's probably like 210 some odd pounds, but super fast and quick. It's a guy like him that's gonna he could get slammed quick from a bigger dude. I mean, but in college, it's a lot easier because everybody's spread out. You got a lot more holes to fill up now when you're in the NFL now. So I mean, you might squeak by.
They got linebacker. I mean, they can outrun these linebackers in college. These little scat backs. But in the NFL, you got linebackers that are just as fast as running backs. So yeah, no, I get what you mean. They can close the distance quicker, and you got to be a special. I mean, you got to be like, Pro Bowl levels, borderline Hall of Fame special. Like Maurice Jones-Drew. I use him as an example. Maurice Jones-Drew was excellent for about 5 years with Jacksonville back in the day, and you need to be like that level guy to with the lack of size to make it for sure.
So the difference between then and now is running backs that size used to be a workhorse. I mean, look at Warwick Dunn. Warwick Dunn was 179 pounds. So
I mean, Jamal Charles too. I mean, if you look at,
Jamal Charles, yeah, he doesn't fit that statistic that I mentioned. He's taller than that. He was 5'11", but I was going throwing height in there as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah, most definitely. I mean, a lot of these shorter guys are they're gonna have to work a lot harder to actually. Yeah.
Work done. Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, it does. I mean, yeah, Danny Woodhead. Even So yes. Totally agree, man. A lot of these shorter. I mean, I just mentioned the kid from freaking Dallas. I mean, I can't remember his name off.
Deuce Vaughn.
Yep. So I mean, I was telling, he's as tall as I am. So.
Yeah, that was a feel-good story for the dad who works for him.
Yeah, I don't think he'll be seeing much time. I don't think, anyways. But
no, I think Zeke will be back in a Dallas uniform before the season starts.
I'm
He'll take less
so.
money.
Yep,
they have to, man. He's a Cowboy legend at this point. Just come back at maybe a 1-year deal. I think Zeke should come back, see what they can do. See what him and Pollard can do if they can make it. I mean, that's a damn good team, man. They could definitely make a Super Bowl run and see what happens, and maybe hang it up. I mean, Zeke isn't what he was 5 years ago. He's just have one more season, maybe try to get a ring, and then call it good.
If Dak can perform well under pressure, then maybe they'll win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, and that's going to come down to Dak playing. Sean says it really comes down to the system. Woodhead and White had some seasons with the Pats. Proper scheme and protection makes all the difference. Is more important than height. Well, of course. I mean, yeah,
it does, but they still need the volume, and that's where a lot of these smaller backs lack. A-Chain and Gibbs, they'll both have big games. They'll have games where they break off one of those big runs because they're athletic and they're quick, but it's not going to be consistent.
Yeah,
durability. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
it's a 17-game season.
Yeah, I mean, look at Tony Pollard. I mean, he's not even 6 foot. He's a little bit shorter. I mean, look at the workload he has put in between him and Zeke. I mean, he couldn't.
And height doesn't play as much into that as the weight does. The weight, obviously, to me, plays a bigger factor. But I tried to go. So the line that most people will give is 200 pounds. If you're below 200 pounds, you're not successful in the NFL for the most part. I went 5 pounds heavier than that. I went to 205 and still can't find many backs that got to that elite level.
Gotcha.
Well, you need to go. These guys need to go hit up the buffet. Okay, there's a couple down the street, hibachi. Like, load up. That's what we should do after the show. We should all go get some food. I'm hungry myself. I had some oatmeal for supper. Not holding me over. These guys could follow my lead. Go put on some extra pudding, as Colin Cowherd likes to say. You know, put 10 pounds of pudding on. These guys will be just fine. I get it's easier for a quarterback because a lot of them aren't. It's not based on. It's based up here in your arm, and it's not based on your athleticism and durability, shifting, all that good stuff. But yeah, these guys could use it. You know, they could use an extra 10 pounds. And Bryce Young was doing it. Offensive linemen do it. These running backs, some of these smaller guys, just pack on the pounds. Get in my belly. Get in my belly.
Yeah. They say A-Chain's already gained like 8 pounds, I think. They say he's up over 190 now.
Oh, snap, crackle, and pop. That means I'm a few pounds lighter than him. I'm 180. Donovan, hey Donovan, how's baseball going? Yeah, how are those kids playing tonight?
Big D.
Yeah. Donovan says Malik Davis will be the dude. And Sean says this podcast is like Canadian, bringing that smoke. hey Sean, don't you have some baseball to attend to tonight? I'm just kidding, Sean. Hey, oh, that's right. You kicked my ass here last week, Sean. How dare you? I hate you now. Just kidding, man.
I like Malik Davis as well. I think Malik Davis is good, but they're all over Pollard right now.
Yeah.
See how much if they don't bring Zeke back, I think Malik Davis could be a good late sleeper for redraft.
Yeah, I don't like Ronald Jones much because he was with Eli. You know, he was with Tampa and he was garbage. I didn't like him.
He collectively shit the bed for quite a few years. I was excited when he came out of USC, and I was like, this guy, he's gonna take over the lead role. No, we had to go get Lenny, playoff Lenny for a couple of years, and now Rojo, he was with Kansas City for a cup of coffee, and just get him out of the league. He's one of those guys, like when you're looking at like the dynasty draft and like our 12-man. He's one of those guys at the way bottom list of the running backs. He shouldn't even be in the league anymore. Get rid of Rojo.
Hey, that's a 2-time Super Bowl champion.
A lot of young backs coming
in.
Don't you go there, Tim.
You mean three-time champion now? I think he is. No, 2. Never mind, 2. Yeah, that's right, 2.
2 more than he deserves. I'll tell you that.
Dallas made the wrong move in signing him, but I guess he's a back. He'll do some bruising.
He's a warm body.
Yeah, I got a notification earlier. It said Dak Prescott to Ronald Jones, and it's a little screen he's throwing to Ronald Jones, and people are just going to eat that up. He'll move a roundup in the drafts and.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it much either myself. But I'll run through some quick headlines here, quick with some football.
You do that, I'm gonna put on my work done jersey here.
You do that. This guy's making us wait like 20 minutes to start the show, and Tim and I were ready to like get this shit going, and Eli was just poof gone, nowhere to be found. It's
kind of my shtick. So, but hey, we're here. We're here. It's Wednesday. I'm rocking the work done jersey in honor of all the undersized running backs. I'm here to show you my support.
You're one funny man, Eli. All right, some quick highlights here. Darnell Mooney will be ready for training camp. DeAndre Hopkins sounds like he's gonna be meeting with Tennessee this weekend. Cooper Kupp, he actually returns to the facilities. And then we have Brock Purdy. He's pretty well rehab. He's pretty much on track with his rehab.
Don't get me Cooper Kupp talk after you guys talked about him last week.
Yeah,
we can go there.
Just a little bit.
We can go there right after I get done with these headlines real quick. Michael Thomas is he's actually present at OTAs. So is this ankle ready to finally go after 2 years? We'll find out soon, right?
yeah, I won't be drafting him anywhere.
I don't think I will be either. Josh Jacob he's not at minicamp. He hasn't signed his waiver, whatever it is, his tender.
Yeah.
And then Mark Cooper is full participant for Tuesday. Well, yesterday. Aaron Rodgers is in a full participant in drills. They actually got Sam Howell. They got him as listed as projected starter, but it's up in the air. Heard that Brissett is maybe trying to be the man to take the job, but that's a hard saying there. And Herbert will do a little 7-on-7 this week. So those are kind of the trending headlines as of today.
Just a couple observations from the headlines Jay was just talking about. I had a repulsed look on my face when I heard DeAndre Hopkins might end up in Tennessee. It makes sense because he could step in day one and almost be their number one. I mean, really, he could. I mean, that's one of the few spots in the league he still could be a number one receiver. Obviously, he just left Arizona where he was, but
I meant he'd have no challenge there.
Yeah, he would. I mean, the only challenge he would have is Burks. So I mean, the rest of Tennessee, the rest of our wide receiver crew is not. There's nothing there.
I like Burks, and I do like Burks. I don't like the quarterbacks. I don't like Tannehill. I don't like Malik Willis. I sure as hell don't like that clown out of Kentucky, Will Levis, they just took. Like, I just don't like their quarterback situations. So, I mean, if I was DeAndre, I'd take less money and just suck up your pride and go to Buffalo. I'm trying to think of another good. What's another good team that might have even the Rams? Like, if you team Van Jefferson and Cooper Kupp, I know we were bashing Cooper last week, but like you team the three of those guys up and Stafford's healthy, they're back. Rams are back. If D-Hop would just take less money, but I think he's going to go for the money here.
Yeah, if he wants to win a championship, he should take very low money, go to Kansas City, and play with Patrick Mahomes.
Oh yeah,
he would be the number one receiver.
Ideal.
Nobody to challenge him, and I'd be drafting him all over the place in fantasy football if he landed there.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people would too. I mean, if he did land there, yeah. I mean, he's almost kind of like another Tariq Hill to a point, but just a little bit taller. So it would make sense. I mean, I would. Sean says, since this is an AFC pod, have you guys discussed the potential drama of Zach Wilson and A-Rod dating the same age women? Sean,
they don't. Aaron Rodgers dates women that are Zach Wilson's age, and
yeah,
Zach Wilson and then
it's like Freaky Friday. That is hilarious.
Yes, it is. That is hilarious, Sean. You're a funny man. But yeah. Other than that, I mean, if Hopkins does land with the Rams, I wouldn't mind that, or the Chiefs. Either one. I mean, I would think.
Go ahead, Jay. Go ahead. Finish.
I was just gonna say I think that would just elevate. That would elevate them actually quite a bit. I mean, that's just I was just gonna say is all. Go ahead.
I was gonna put in quick, and I'll see what you guys think. About Jimmy's foot. I know ESPN, the Herd, a couple different places where I mean, Colin Cowherd doesn't think that he's even going to hit the field. But I put that on the bottom. Like, there was a report that he should be ready to go for training camp in the season, obviously. But I don't know. What are you guys' thoughts on Garoppolo's health? Like, does he start week one? Like, if you're drafting him, if he's kind of a later round pick, depending on your league, if it's a year-to-year league or whatever. Obviously, dynasty, you're not taking him that high. But like in a year-to-year league, like, does this affect Jimmy at all? Do you guys think day one he's ready?
So you're triggering me because this.
Bam. Maybe I'll go John Moran and pull out my Glock.
right into the Cup talk from last week.
Oh.
You guys quoted that Cooper Kupp was going to get not great targets because of Matthew Stafford's potential health. And then you ranked Devontae Adams as the number one receiver in your discussion. With Jimmy Garoppolo, one of the worst most injury-prone quarterbacks in the league. That's his QB. And then probably the next day, this news came out about his foot. Devontae Adams is going to have a quarterback issue. Matthew Stafford, in the last 10 years, has only missed time in 2 seasons. 2 seasons. Last season, and I think it was 20, if I can remember off the top of my head, 2016 maybe. He missed half that season.
Yeah, it was somewhere in there. Yeah, that sounds about right.
I would honestly be more worried about Cooper Kupp's health than Matthew Stafford's health. Quarterbacks are more likely to stand up for the most part if they're not a running quarterback like Matthew Stafford. He's a pocket passer because the rules against quarterbacks now. There's so many rules against quarterbacks hitting the quarterback that they stay healthier a lot longer. I think Matthew Stafford is more likely to stay healthy than Cooper Kupp is. So if we're going to quote health to a player's success, I would say you would quote it more towards Cooper Kupp's health, not Matthew Stafford's health.
Well, in my eyes,
go ahead,
I'm just, a neck injury, that's pretty serious. I mean, it's, they sat him they sat him out after he got hit, and that with him maybe get another hit. I mean, because
there was no point in playing them. They were already out of it.
More than likely.
Yeah, Grant, but we're worried. Well, me and Jamie, we're worried about up here. It's the same thing. Same problem I have with Tua. Tua's got all the talent in the world. I worry about his size and here because he's one more, major shot away from being done. Stafford, the same thing with it. The neck head area. It's like, dude, one major shot, and he's older. Like Tua's 10 years younger than Stafford. But yeah, no, I get your point. And Cooper Kupp, he just turned 30, or he's going to turn 30 here this month. So, that's a concern at this point. But yeah. And Devontae is going to be Devontae. I really think he's transcendent. I know he's getting up there in age. He's 30 as well, but I think he's going to be just fine. Maybe I'm trying to think of some old, because that's what this guy does. That's what Josh McDaniels does. He pulls all his ex quarterbacks and brings them in. So I'm thinking maybe they could trade for Jacoby Brissett. Maybe Mac Jones. Maybe Mac Jones comes to Vegas. You just don't know.
Patriots.
So if it's not Jimmy, it's going to be somebody getting the ball to Devontae. It might hurt everybody else. It might hurt Hunter Renfrow. It might hurt Jacoby Myers. It might hurt the other guys on the team. But I don't see it affecting Devontae as much. But yeah, no, you make a good point there, Tim.
Most definitely. Yeah, I'm just more worried about Stafford because I mean, if they don't have, Stafford's a good pocket passer. Don't get me wrong about that at all. I mean, you mentioned that he missed only a few games. That was I think that was 2019. He only played 8 games, and then 2000
last year.
Yeah, and then 2010 he only played 3 games. So I mean, there's only a few seasons where he actually just missed. But I mean, yeah, with this neck injury, that's the kind of thing that kind of makes me worried a little bit because who if he gets hit again, who's going to toss Kupp the ball?
And you think about all the guys that lasted forever, like Peyton Manning. What ultimately, age, but he had plantar fasciitis. It was a foot thing. Brady, he had that one injury in 2008, where he was out for the season, where his knee kind of buckled when he got hit. But it was never, there was never any concussions with Brady. There were so these guys, Breeze, same thing. There wasn't really a concussion history. So a lot of these guys that played till they're 40, even Aaron Rodgers has had shoulder and some other stuff, but it was never here. That's what we're worried about. A lot of these guys they're great athletes. They can recover from shoulder stuff or knee stuff, maybe, foot stuff too. But a lot of it up here is where, yeah. So I that's why I stay away from. I hope for Stafford's health, because it'd be good to see the Rams back again and Cooper back to doing what he did 2 years ago. But I just don't trust it. Same thing with Tua. Same issue I have there, and that's why I'm high on Mike White down in Miami, and maybe we'll talk about him when we talk about the Dolphins. Yeah. But so definitely injury concerns.
But yeah.
Tim Tebow to Vegas.
Yeah. But yeah, other than that, I think that we should kind of get this show on the road.
So What neck injury are you guys talking about? That's why I grabbed my computer.
Yeah, he actually had a neck injury.
He had an elbow injury.
No,
Spinal contusion.
Yes, he had a spinal contusion.
Yeah, I think he'll be fine, but we can get into the AFC East.
Yeah, so I mean that's why he even because his wife had a pod and she asked him if he thought about retiring after this year or continuing and wait and see consensus on this contusion of his neck, and that could be pretty serious too, I mean, you get anything, your neck injury, your spinal disconnecting from your brain, you're done.
Yeah.
So.
And if Molly told Jamie to retire from his job, he always got to listen to the wife. Just saying.
Eli, you're a funny man.
What we got next, Daddy-O?
Well, I think it's time for us to jump into all this NFC talk, man, because we got the Bills, we got the Dolphins, we got the Jets, and I guess, is there a Patriots team left? Is there a team left?
We got to talk about them.
Yeah, I really don't want to talk about them, but I mean,
my wife says nobody gives a shit about the Patriots.
Ah!
That's why we have you on, Tim. You got a smart family. You got, correct us when we need it. Wife's smart. This is a good deal here. I like
the only person I care about on the Patriots, Ramondre Stevenson.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think I'll start it off with that. I think I'm going to start with those damn Patriots, and I'm going to start with our main guy, Ramondre Stevenson. Oh, there it is. There. Lo and behold, it's Eli's top Patriots here. Got Ramondre Stevenson. So basically what I did is I picked, regardless of position, I used skill position guys. I wasn't going to do any damn kickers. We're not doing defensive ends. I don't care about sacks. We're doing skill position guys. Each team picked the top 5 who I think are going to be the most productive in 2023. And we'll start with Stevenson. Enough said. He's easily going to have over 1,000 yards. Juju, love the signing from Kansas City. He should get more targets because who the hell else are they going to throw it to other than Hunter Henry maybe? So and Mac Jones and bring it back. Losing myself here.
I'd say so. What's going on here, man? Come on.
God. I was gonna say bring it back, Bill O'Brien, who used to. Thank you. Used to be the coordinator back in the day with old Brady. I think the offense, they actually have an offensive guy. They're not using Matt Patricia this year. So maybe that'll help old Mac Jones here. Got him at number 3 by default. You got to put the quarterback at least at number 3 in these lists. I mean, I don't think he's a world beater or anything. But I can see Mac having, 3,600 yards, maybe, 22, 23 touchdowns. I think that's reasonable.
You know where I'm from, right? Alabama.
Oh, what's up? Yeah.
Bill O'Brien's coming from Alabama, where he coached Mac Jones.
Well, that's what a coincidence there. This is going to be a perfect marriage. This is going to work out just great.
It's still going to be the worst.
That's why I got Timmy. He's taken over. He's taken over Chad. You know what? You're way better than Chad, by the way. He's taken over Chad's spot. He fixes. He rights the wrongs is what he does. But yeah, Mac Jones, I got at 3. Hunter Henry at 4. Been a fairly productive tight end for the Chargers and Patriots now, and it's always been a tight end friendly offense. It'll continue to be that way. So I see Hunter Henry having a decent season, and Tyquan Thornton. I think he's kind of the sleeper of the Patriots offense. I think he could definitely jump up. I think he could. I know he's better than Devontae Parker. Devontae Parker is done. Lucky to make the damn team. So, Abute, my main man, who I just drafted in the rookie draft, he's my honorable mention because I think he's got potential as well. Be interested in see what Bill O'Brien and Belichick and those guys can do with him. So I got those are my top 5 Patriots. What do you guys think?
Hey, I'm about to swap over to my computer real quick. So
do it.
All right, sounds good. While Tim is doing that, I will put in here that the Patriots, their passing was, they were ranked 21st, and the rushing was 24th. So their rush, so the New England Patriots, the Patriots, they were kind of in the middle of the pack when it came to their pass attack and their rushing attack. So hopefully Stevenson kind of maybe gets these guys bumped up some more into maybe the top 10 or top 15 for rushing.
Good, yeah.
So they were more of a pass heavy team at 58%. They're more of a rush. Their rushing was about 23%, and they kind of tossed to the tight ends about 19% of the time. So you can kind of give or take and kind of see where. Damn, that was loud.
I think that was a fork dropping.
It sounded like a sword. It sounded like a damn sword falling.
I know. I was like, oh.
My youngest daughter's crocheting, so it was a crochet hook.
Ah, gotcha. But you were saying about Mac Jones. He was actually 18th in 2021, and he actually finished 23rd in 2022. But in good majority of the time, Mac Jones was actually, he was a top 12 tight or a QB 28% of the time. Dang. Tim, are you all right over there? He's next thing you know, I see he looked like he was getting attacked by a dog.
Yeah, the dog jumped up on my computer.
I think this is a riot going on over here.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
But I mean, overall, I mean, Mac Jones is kind of a middle. He's more like a middle tier quarterback.
How's your health, Tim?
So the only Ramondre Stevenson this year is probably my top running back in this division, even over Breece Hall coming off the ACL injury.
Ooh, hot take.
Yeah,
that is a hot take.
Yep, but look at the success of running backs coming off ACL injuries. Beyond Jamal Charles and Adrian Peterson, since like the right around 2010 time frame, there hasn't been a running back that has come back and been better the following year in like yards per carry and things like that after an ACL injury.
Yeah. So I mean, just like Barkley too. Barkley took a little time to heal. He didn't look good right away, and then that following year, this last year, that's when he really sprouted out and took grasp of that running game and lit it up. So I mean, I see a little downside with Breece, just a smudge, but I think he's young enough to kind of rebound from this. I still think I could see him getting close to 1,000 yards.
He'll have over 1,000 yards. I just think Stevenson's going to have more.
And that very well be. I'd rather have I'd rather have Hall over Stevenson myself.
Dynasty, I'll take Hall all day, but redraft, I'm taking Stevenson.
Hey, I mean, I know. I mean, I guess let's see if you can bribe me into Stevenson if it comes to redraft. We'll see. I might take a risk. We'll see. I'm not really honestly. I'm not quite fan of a Patriots. I try to honestly. I stay away from any Patriots. I stay away from freaking any Ravens guys. I want
Titans
nothing.
Guys.
Well, Burks. I'll take Burks all day long. But any Patriots. I don't like Hunter Henry. Henry pretty much went to the wrong team. He should have stayed with the Chargers. I think he would have been more valuable with the Chargers. I could have seen Henry in a better offense with the Chargers. And
I think Mike Gesicki takes over that lead tight end role this year, anyways.
Yeah, I think is that where Gesicki went with the Patriots?
Mm-hmm.
To the Patriots? Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
I wasn't quite sure where he went, but yeah, Hunter Henry,
They're kind of even though.
Yeah. I think Henry's a little bit younger, but either way,
Gesicki's younger.
Is he? Oh my God, Jesus. I just like Henry overall.
There he goes again. There he goes.
Henry. I like Henry.
On the ball tonight.
Tyquan Thornton is my sleeper for this division in general. All across. I really like Tyquan Thornton, and I think that from what I heard that Bill O'Brien's liking him too. He likes his size and his speed, and I think they're going to try to use that to exploit the defenses. They don't really have another receiver. I mean, they have Devontae Parker, but he can't stay healthy.
Yeah.
You got Keyshawn Boutier, but his combine was absolutely awful. And that's why he fell to the 6th round.
Yeah.
Who knows though? I mean, Bill Belichick, he turns late round draft picks into superstars. So we'll see.
Yes, I think wasn't Thornton a Bear? Wasn't he a Bear?
No, it's only his 2nd year in the league, and it's been Patriots both.
No. I mean, college-wise, he was a Bear, wasn't he?
Oh, Cincinnati.
Was it? Okay. I thought he was a Bear. Right.
Hold on, let me look.
But yeah, I just know because they got rid of O'Neal Henry to the Bears. I know that, but yeah, I know Thornton was kind of his replacement. That's why they shipped out O'Neal. Yeah, I thought I thought he was a Bear. Or one of those two teams, because they were talking that that wide receiver or that.
Yeah, he went to Baylor.
Yeah, that's right. They were kind of up or down a little bit when it came to Baylor. Baylor guys, anyways. So, but we'll see. I don't know. Maybe Thornton could be a sleeper in deeper leagues. I don't know if I would draft him in smaller 10 or 12. It just very depends. He might be a waiver guy. So that's my thoughts on that. Since we're kind of talking about some Patriots guys, we might as well just talk about some Bayshon Boutte. I know he's a
Booty.
Yeah, he's a he's a 6th round guy. So he came from LSU. He had with LSU. He had a few small, like not short, but he had some small games, not huge games. But I think he's 6 foot, so I think this should help him in the long run. Maybe he can take over that Devontae Parker role. I know that. Let's see.
It's not gonna be that hard to do because Devontae ain't gonna make the team.
No. I mean, the only downfall with I'm sure with LSU. I mean, they had freaking Chase there, which why limited his possibilities of actually being a 1,000-yard receiver and whatnot. So, I mean, he had 700, 500, and another 500-yard seasons with LSU. So, I mean, maybe this guy can, maybe at least see 300, 400 yards this year. Maybe a touchdown or two. That would be reasonable for a rookie, 6th round rookie.
They drafted him in the right spot. They got him way late. So, he's really boom or he's really bust.
Yeah, and that's gonna be the thing. I mean, I don't like any of the only time I like any Patriots is when Moss was there. That was it. Other than that, I don't really care about any other wide receivers. I might take a running back just because they're going to get some carries, but then that's even last year too. I mean, it was either Harris or Stevenson, so you never know who was actually going to get the ball or what the game plan was. So
Stevenson's going to be that dude this year.
So maybe hopefully he can be the 1, 2, 3 guy and a couple other guys. So. But other than that, Boutte would be kind of I think he'll be a late sleeper in some deeper leagues.
He was a sleeper in the rookie draft we just had too, because he's got. When's the last time you laughed him? When's the last time that an LSU receiver didn't pan out? Exactly. He's gonna be just fine. He's gonna be just fine. Just like.
Have you heard of a guy called Terrace Marshall?
Terrace Marshall. He should be I think he'll be a good sleeper this year.
Yeah. What are we in his 3rd or 4th year?
Don't you go there. He's probably the number 2 receiver in Carolina. He ain't bad. He ain't bad.
DJ Chark.
I'll draft him.
You heard it. DJ Chark. You heard of him?
Yeah, he's been around a while.
He's solid too. He's solid too.
Just saying. Honestly, I'll take Marshall over all those guys. Marshall will be the guy with all the targets.
It's like Brandon Marshall over all those guys.
Oh, did I say Brandon Marshall? Yeah, Brandon Marshall. There we go.
Brandon Marshall, he was also a Jet, funny enough. And we're talking about the Jets. They're flying high up in the sky because they got Aaron Rodgers, who I said on this show, I said a month before it happened, he was going to be a Jet. And damn it, he is a Jet. I think we can all agree consensus here. I'm assuming you're smart gentlemen here. You know that maybe it's 1A with Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall in terms of who would be the top fantasy guy from the Jets. I mean, that's a given. Aaron Rodgers, I'll put him at 3. This isn't Aaron Rodgers from 5-10 years ago when he was slinging it and 48 touchdown Aaron Rodgers. That ain't him anymore. Put him at number 3 out of respect, and I think he'll have a bounce back season to a degree. I think he's actually at the or before they, I think they just canceled it from what I saw. They just canceled the mandatory mini camp the Jets had, but he was there. I mean, you see him in all these clips. He's trying to build a rapport with the receivers and ingratiate himself. So I know, shocking. Alan Lazard, another defector from Green Bay. He's at number 4. I think he'll be a nice compliment to Garrett Wilson.
Sorry, guys, I got to make my pick.
Oh, yeah, I'm kind of pissed. I'm pissed. Hendon Hooker comes off the board. How dare they take Hendon Hooker from me?
He's a little hooker. And then I'll get to this quick. And we talk about the pick. Tyler Conklin doesn't get a lot of love. He was solid with Minnesota. He's been solid with the Jets so far. Doesn't get a lot of love. I put him in 5 is kind of my designated sleeper spot. Thornton with the Patriots and now Conklin at number 5 here. So it'd be interesting to see. They don't really have any young skill position guys. They took that running back with the weird name, but I don't think he's anything special. I mean, you got Breece Hall, Michael Carter. That's pretty much the 2 they're going to be rolling with, I would assume, as long as Carter stays healthy and Breece stays healthy. So I'll see what you guys think about the Jets.
All right, who am I going to pick?
Yeah, he's trying to think who he wants to pick.
Who's there?
There's quite a few there. Quite a few guys there.
I have somebody I want to take, but I think I can wait till next round.
You think he'll last that long?
Probably not that long, but there's somebody better. There's somebody better that I have to take. I can't pass them. I could trade back or try to, but I'm not going to wait that long.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to go with Marvin Mims.
Ooh, Denver.
Ooh.
Yeah, Sean Payton's first draft pick is a Bronco, so.
Yeah, he was.
I don't really like him, but
where he fits. I'm just wondering where he fits. They're so deep. Maybe they cut a guy that we want. Maybe they cut like a Tim Patrick or there's a surprise cut that we didn't see. But with Judy and Son being there,
I'm taking my guy. I'm taking my guy. I'm gonna reach.
Who's he taking? Oh,
Puka Nacua.
Oh, that's insane.
Nakua.
Yep.
Oh.
That was somebody that the name we don't speak of here anymore. He was all over him because we were talking that and he's like, I don't want to give away my secrets. Blah blah. Like,
it may have been one of his right takes. I think Puka Nacua is going to be a monster. Maybe not this year, but eventually he will be that guy.
With Mr. The kid from Georgia.
No, Stetson Bennett.
Yeah, him and Stetson Bennett.
You guys saw Cooper Kupp talking about Puka Nacua today, right?
No, actually, no, I didn't. I actually did not see him talking
Cooper
about
Kupp
him.
came out and said Puka Nacua is.
Enlighten us.
Yeah, he came out and he was talking about how great of a player he is, how fast he's learning the playbook, that it's a completely different system than he ran in college, and that he has taken it in really quick. And he's a great receiver. He's going to make an impact this year. Cooper Kupp said.
But Tim, that's what they said about McCutcheon last year. That's what the Rams have all these secret weapons they take late. Like, oh, this guy's gonna pan out. This guy's gonna pan. You know what?
Jay just took your guy. Jay just took your guy, Eli.
Yeah, I just took your guy.
What? No, damn you, Carson.
Hey, man, I love Chad
pick.
Brown.
I'm not a hater. I'm not a hater. It's a good pick, but
all right, so back to the Jets.
Yes, back to the Jets here. So,
I'm gonna see your thoughts on this.
So
Garrett Wilson's obviously the one. I mean, dude's played.
I'll agree
He
on
was a
that.
beast last year without a quarterback.
Yeah,
I mean,
pretty much he was.
But he's still the third best receiver in this division. They could have 3 number 1 receivers in this division this year, 4 possibly.
Yeah,
Because I meant, to me, well, we'll talk about the rest here pretty soon.
yeah,
But Garrett Wilson, he's going to be a monster this year with Aaron Rodgers throwing the ball to him. I mean, look at what Aaron Rodgers did with Devontae Adams. I'm not saying Garrett Wilson's Devontae Adams, but he's still an elite talent. And you got Aaron
he'd
Rodgers.
be pretty damn close.
And you got Aaron Rodgers throwing him the ball. Breece Hall, like I said, running backs coming off the ACL injury don't really pan out the first year back from it. I think he's still going to be good. Will he be a RB1? I think he'll be right there on the fringe, the back end of it. Alan Lazard, he's already got the chemistry with Rodgers. He's already been seen all over New York with Rodgers. He could probably fit the wide receiver 2 range, maybe early wide receiver 3 range. And like you said, Conklin doesn't get enough love. My fear with Conklin, though, is Aaron Rodgers, other than Tanya in that 1 year, has never really thrown to the tight end.
yep.
So he'll get the occasional touchdown or he'll have the occasional big game, but Aaron Rodgers has never really targeted the tight end very much. So
This is true. But he's been a productive. He has been a fairly middle of the pack. He's probably been somewhere between 12 to 17 in terms of tight end production the last couple years. So
Yeah,
he'll work. He'll get something. And my other kind of play was Michael Carter, just in case Breece isn't back or he turns into an injury prone guy and then it derails his career. Michael Carter, he was in consideration for the 5. So what are you guys' thoughts on Michael Carter?
Well,
yeah, Michael Carter, but they also brought in that new rookie, Abanikanda?
yep, I think that's his name. Yeah.
That's the kid I was like the name of.
It's going to be interesting to see in camp how that pans out between him and Michael Carter.
Yeah. Well, where did Zonovan Knight go?
Zonovan Knight, yeah, he's involved too.
Is it? You see,
it's too crowded behind Breece.
Yeah, it is because the funny thing is I have all those guys. I have Breece, Carter, and Zonovan Knight in our.
So you wasted a bunch of draft picks other than Breece Hall.
No, this was no. So I put it. This was last year, man. This was in our dynasty draft, our dynasty last year. So I had no choice. I'm like, I had Hill and I had Carter. He got kind of hurt. Then I had to pick up freaking Zonovan Knight. So I have all the Jets running backs in a different dynasty. Yeah. And so I went Breece Hall and I took Carter just in case, for just to keep me just security blanket, put it that way. But Breece Hall, we're talking about Carter. So Carter was actually before Breece even got there. He was actually 29th overall in 2021. In 2022, he actually dipped a little bit. He actually ended up being 43rd last year. He had about 126 fantasy points, PPR wise, 6 points anyways. But I mean, he was at least the top 24 back 18% of the time. So I mean, that's not bad, but I mean, he's kind of mediocre, kind of right in the middle. So Michael Carter's got talent, came from USC. I mean, I was a fan of him. I've seen him before. I mean, him and the kid from the other guy is with Denver now, Williams. They were pretty much a two-headed monster coming out of the draft that year. So, yes, and we'll see about Devontae down the road. but yeah, I mean, I have no downfalls with Michael Carter. I mean, he's talented. So I mean, I think this is going to be the Breece Hall show, and then with a little Carter's, in the mix. So I mean, these two guys are going to be a two-headed monster. I think Breece Hall will slowly work in there a little bit. Maybe Carter will see a little bit more of the work, and then Hall afterwards. But that's just my opinion. You're talking about Conklin. He actually finished 16th overall last year. Right? Oh yeah,
it's about middle of the pack. Solid.
Yep. Yep. So yeah, I had a graphic for him. I didn't even put him up, and Eli did that for me.
So, if I get any of
the world needs to know about how great Brees Hall was great before he got hurt. I'm hurt.
He was.
Now. I need support.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
He absolutely was great.
Well, yeah. If you think about it, when he got injured, he was leading the pack even 2 weeks afterwards. I mean, people were actually trying to catch up with him. He was leading the pack for 2 weeks, even though he was on the on the bench. So I mean, it was crazy enough to see a lot of these of like, dude, if he would have stayed and not get injured, he probably would have been the rookie of the year. That would have been
Yeah.
Maybe the MVP. That was great. He was winning with Zach Wilson.
Just think about the Jets' future, though. I mean, you got Sauce Gardner, Brees Hall, and Garrett Wilson all going into their second year. Their draft was so good last year.
Oh, it was. I mean, in a IDP league, I actually drafted before Sauce actually got a little bit of resemblance, I actually picked him up off the waiver wire and kept him all year long. So that was fun.
Jimmy got a little saucy.
Damn right, dude. I'm gonna draft him all over when I get into my IDP league. I'm gonna be he's gonna be my main guy, that's for sure. But I mean, other than that, yeah, Brees Hall, I think he rebounds. I want him to see a good 1,000 yards, maybe 8-7 touchdowns, give or take. I think that'd be plenty enough for a rebound year for him.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and he might get a couple. He might have a couple, like, goal line, red zone targets. He might get maybe 1 or 2 in there. So I mean, I think that's fair enough for Brees Hall for his return. We'll see how he kind of does and see how he looks in training camp. That's just my opinion there. But I was just gonna say here real quick too. Actually, the Jets were 14th in passing last year, which is crazy. Rushing, they were 26. So they're actually kind of a more heavier pass team. They were actually passing 59% of the time, rushing 21% of the time, and they were tossing to the tight end about 20% of the time. So which is where your Conklin kind of comes into play too.
So here's my biggest concern with the Jets right now. Nathaniel Hackett. He went in, calling plays for Denver, and did an absolute terrible job. Yes, he did coach Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay. However, he was not calling plays in Green Bay. Matt LaFleur was calling plays in Green Bay when Hackett was the offensive coordinator.
Oh,
yeah, I see it. Hackett worries me. But the talent should be there, and Aaron Rodgers will probably be running that offense more than Hackett will. So
that's what we're banking on. That's what we're banking on, is that this is an Aaron Rodgers-led offense, not the Hackett man.
Yeah.
Hopefully, and that's what we hope for. I mean, because
he was bad.
Yeah.
He had Russell Wilson had like a 26-5 2021 season before he got hurt, and Seattle ran a little different offense, but like he turned Russell Wilson, who was like a 10-year Hall of Fame quarterback, into trash. I mean, that's what this guy did last year.
Yeah, that was horrible.
I don't trust him.
Horrible.
But if Aaron Rodgers is engaged as he is now, even at like 40 years old, if Aaron Rodgers is this locked in and Brees is healthy and Garrett's going to do his thing, get maybe 1,500 yards, like they'll be just fine. They'll outplay Hackett's bad coaching. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Sean here says that Bam Knight, Zonovan Knight, he might eat into Carter's usage. It's very possible. I mean, Knight actually he had some explosiveness to him, and you could tell. I mean, everybody was picking him up toward the end of the year. I mean, I liked him. I mean, I got him wherever I could. The last month he was great. So now with Brees Hall coming back, that's going to take away from that, and then you got the other rookie coming in. So I mean, there's going to be a lot of who's going to be 1, 2, and 3, who's going to be in the bench, who might get cut. So who knows? Zonovan might even be on the practice squad. Who knows? He might be even somewhere else.
Sean, I'll agree with you that
maybe
Hackett, A-Rod will be calling the plays. I'll agree. That's why I said it at the end that Rodgers will be calling the plays. Donovan, though, Packers head coaches have been calling the plays. Whether the quarterbacks actually follow those plays or another thing. A lot of audibles at the line, but
Mike Holmgren.
LaFleur definitely has been calling the plays.
That's
Well,
Donovan, you're a funny man. You're a funny man. I'll tell you that.
I miss Big D, and I know Donovan might appreciate this list as the two of you might here. We're talking about the Dolphins. Speaking of clever head coaches that call their plays, Mike McDaniel and the Dolphins. Oh God, I can't get enough of Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, the dynamic duo. If Tyreek is still at that level, I mean, he could fall off a cliff. We these receivers, close to 30. That's what they tend to do. So I think he's 29. But I mean, him and Waddle, as long as Tyreek, this is the best receiving. All due respect to Cincinnati and Higgins and Chase, but this is the best receiving duo in the league, or most productive. Come on, the productivity from last year. Carry that over to if Tua stays healthy. But Tua at 3. Go ahead, Tom. Go ahead.
Tua will affect Waddle more than he'll affect Hill. Hill's going to eat no matter what. Hill's my number one receiver in this division. Waddle was, obviously he dealt with some injury last year, but he's going to be more effective if Tua goes down than Hill is. Hill's going to, you can pass Hill the ball 5 yards off the line, and Hill's going to find a way to run it 60 yards down the field.
Yep.
So
I think somebody was listening to the show. They just took the Jets running back.
Bandicanda.
I'm gonna ban your Kanda.
That's hilarious.
So like what Tim was saying there, piggybacking off it, Tyreek, obviously the number one fantasy guy on Miami. Jalen Waddle, nice compliment, nice number 2. Probably I think he's the best number 2 in the league. Tua, stay healthy, which is a big question with him, but he tears it up. The guy was having a bunch of 300-yard games last year, multiple touchdowns. This guy, he can stay healthy a 17-game season. He's going to be in the MVP conversation. He's putting up those kind of numbers. He's that kind of player. It's always the health with him. I put Mostart and Wilson are kind of interchangeable, and Mike Gesicki's gone. The tight end situation's kind of murky there because they're paying so much to Tyreek and some of the defensive positions that some of the guys they signed. So, it's by default I'm going to go with the running back room here because there's not a lot of other players. Mostart, and then my main man A-Chain. Yeah, he's my sleeper. That's right. Bashing the small running backs. Work done, baby. A-Chain, I think by the end of the year he's going to be the number 1 guy on the depth chart. If Dalvin Cook is not a Dolphin, if Dalvin Cook is there, obviously he's the number 1 guy, no question. But I think A-Chain works his way up by the end of the season. He's Miami's feature back. That's how I feel.
Yeah, feature. I don't know.
What say you?
A-Chain, like I said, he's going to have big plays. If I'm picking any running back, it's probably A-Chain just for the upside. However, the running back that I think is going to get the goal line work isn't even on this list.
Jeff Wilson?
Jeff Wilson. He's the bigger running back on the team. I see him getting more of the goal line short yardage work. So I think he's going to have the touchdown upside. Mostert and A-Chain are going to be more of, to me, your big play running backs. They're going to break big runs. Mostert's just old and fragile. The dude can't stay healthy.
Yeah.
He can't stay healthy, and he's 31. Running backs typically start falling off after 28. So that's just my take.
It goes back to yeah, they're kind of interchange. There's been a couple other teams that have similar, like they're interchangeable. That's how I felt. You could have put Wilson there. You could have put Mostart, but that's a good explanation there about Wilson because he has been known to, even when he was with the 49ers, he was a touchdown machine. So. Jay's got the 2-headed monsters right here.
I don't think you're starting running backs on the team right now, anyways.
Now,
Dalvin Cook. Yeah, Dalvin Cook is there. He's the feature back. There's none of these guys are Dalvin. Even Dalvin in his about to be 7th year. Like nobody's at Dalvin Cook's level on this roster.
Yeah, these Wilson and Mostert. They were both in the middle pack. They were actually not even a top 25 rusher last year. One was 26 and the other one was like 29th. So I mean, they were pretty close together, for kind of dual, for a 1-2 punch, give or take. But I mean, overall, both these guys had almost the same average yards, 800 some odd yards apiece. Yeah, 800. Oh, well, Mustard almost had 900. Wilson had about almost 900 himself. So I mean, both these
I
guys
want no
were.
part of this backfield.
No, I don't either, and that's why I drafted A-Chain just because Mustard is 31, and you got Jeff Wilson at 27. And they both came from the 49ers. So I mean, it's just kind of like it seemed like any 49er guys were following each other around. It's kind of funny, but
You drafted A-Chain in a great spot. Second round picks and rookie drafts are basically dart throws, anyways.
Yeah,
So-
it is, and my thought about this was that maybe either Wilson gets hurt or Mustard gets hurt. So that was my thinking. One of these two guys maybe gets injured in training camp or gets injured, and then that gives that opportunity to A-Chain comes in and comes in and be the number 2. So that was kind of my thinking on that myself. So I'm like, even though there could be the whole Cooks coming to Miami, hopefully that doesn't happen. If it does, then that's going to pretty much mess up everything. So I mean, the only other upside with these two guys in the red zone is you can get a couple of touchdowns from these guys, either pretty much either running through the tackles or just getting a nice little dump off. So I mean, either way, these guys will probably see a little bit in the red zone either way. So I think A-Chain will probably be a little bit better when it comes to the red zone and breakaway speed, since he's only like 22 or whatever it was. I didn't have his stats on hand because I was kind of looking at most of kind of the main guys when it came to the offense and whatnot. So I'm just kind of like,
I think they're playing with A-Chain is going to be to use him more as a gadget player. They're going to be moving him around a lot. They're going to be putting him in the slot. They're going to be running him out of the back or routes out of the backfield. So it's going to be to get him in space, get him the ball, and let him do his thing with his speed.
Yeah, and I think that'll be kind of if you think about it too. I mean, the Dolphins.
That's where he'll get points at. Yeah, because he's going to get receptions. You'll get 3-4 receptions, maybe 40 yards rushing. I mean, he'll by the amount of touches. I mean, he'll get you to the points. I mean, it's when he does it, how he does it.
Yeah, with Tua and with Hill coming in, they ended up being a little bit more of a pass-heavy team. They ended up finishing 4th in passing, and their rushing was only like 25th. So you can kind of tell where these guys kind of fell off at. They went pass-heavy right away. So I mean, you leave little dump offs to the running backs just to get the defense diverted or whatever, so they can actually get the ball down the field. Is what they ended up doing. So I mean, little runs through the tackles and stuff like that was just only trying to set up the big old pass plays. They were passing 67% of the time. They were only rushing like 20% of the time, and they were tossing it 13% of the time to the tight end. So which is where Kaseki kind of came in and whatnot. So you can kind of see that they were more of a pass heavy team than pretty much a rushing team. So maybe with A-Chain, maybe that changes. We'll have to see.
Weakest, by the way, this is a note, weakest tight end room in the league.
Yep, more than likely.
Weakest tight ends
So sleeper tight end for this team. He's converting from wide receiver coming out of Stanford. He's a rookie. Elijah Higgins. He's going to be converting from a wide receiver to a tight end.
Wow.
I don't want anything to do with him. But
no,
that's
embarrassing. I mean, this is like a playoff level team. I mean, this has got everybody stays healthy. This is an 11-win kind of team, and you have that in your tight end room. You're converting. I mean, it's just kind of a joke. It's like you could go sign Taysom Hill.
In a deeper dynasty league, though, he'd be one of the, especially like a tight end premium. He'd be one to throw on your bench just in case.
Maybe, yeah, you might be onto something, but it's just crazy. You think of like the Texans, or you think of some bad franchise that would have something like that going on. Not that Dolphins seem they haven't figured out, but
they don't need a tight end.
I guess not. No,
no, more than likely not.
No.
No, I mean, if long as Tua stays healthy, he's a great quarterback. I would draft. I'll take a risk on him. I'll draft him, long as he stays healthy. Last year he was 2021. He was 26. 2022 he ended up being 15th. So with Hill coming in, you can just tell that. His numbers just soared. He actually finished. He had 3,500 yards passing. I don't remember what he had for last year. Maybe a little bit less than that. But with Hill being there, it was great. It was tremendous. Tua was actually a top 12 quarterback 38% of the time. So he's got the capability of actually being a top 15 quarterback.
And when you got Hill and Waddle to throw the ball to every drop back, that helps with that.
Yeah, it does more than likely. I know. I think maybe this year I could see Tua maybe shooting for 400 or 4,000 some odd yards passing this year.
As long as he can stay on the field.
Yeah. Yep. Long as
he stays on the field. He stays on the field. He might be pushing 5. Like this guy was. He could have like he stays fully healthy, full 16, 17, 15, 16, 17 game season. This guy's going to come close to 5,000 yards. He's going to have, 35 to 38 touchdowns. It's going to be a monster MVP level season. Like just if he can stay on the field, absolutely.
Yeah, but if he gets another concussion, he may be talking retirement.
Yeah, yep, that too.
Boomer bust. Boomer bust. Yeah, out of the league,
Yeah. Hold on before we get to the Bills here. Tariq was actually a top 24 70% of the time, and Waddle was actually a top 24 47% of the time. So both these guys were just off. Before even Hill even got there, Waddle was doing this stuff on his own. So Waddle was already great already. So with the addition of Hill coming there, that just added to it. So you got a nice 1-2 punch with the wide receivers. I wouldn't say they were the top guys, but I would take freaking Higgins and Chase over these two guys.
It's a debate. It's a good. I see that look on your face. I see that look on your face, Tim.
It's a debate. It's two different types of rooms. Waddle and Hill are based off speed. Chase and Higgins, they're going to go downfield and they're going to catch the ball.
Size,
they're going to contested catches, things like that. Waddle and Hill, you can throw it 5 yards off the line, and those two are so fast they're going to break off.
Yeah.
So two different types of receivers. It all depends on what you want.
More than likely.
I have a question. Does Mike White? He was the kid from the Jets last year that stepped in and had a few decent games, so they signed him as the backup. Does Mike White have any value, especially with Tua kind of being on the fringe? Like one hit could knock him out, permanently. Like does Mike White have value, or maybe they go after a veteran? Like if that were to happen.
If I were to choose a backup, like say in a deeper dynasty super flex league or something, it would probably be between Mike White or Zappy. In this division,
I agree,
because Mac Jones is probably on the edge of losing his job if he doesn't perform right off the bat this year.
Yeah, more than likely.
Those two, Zappy got sniped from me in our dynasty draft, right the pick before I was going to take him.
Oh, no shit, huh?
Yeah. So
was that last year?
No, it was maybe 2 picks before, but it was close. It was
gotcha.
Right in front of me. But I ended up getting
Zappy was actually he was actually not horrible. I think he played 4 games, I think it was last year. He was in a couple times. Yeah. For just a little bit he played, he looked legit. He looked a little bit better than freaking Jones did, because they actually got the team scoring. So
well, Jones is it's put up or shut up this year with O'Brien as his offensive coordinator, because he's got experience with his system. So if he can't perform in this system, then he's going to be sitting on the bench for probably the rest of his career.
I didn't even realize he was at Alabama. Was I asleep at the wheel?
I think that's you often, Eli.
I know. But I'm not gonna let you guys down with the Buffalo Bills. The last team, probably the best team in this division. Because if they're not, Sean McDermott's getting fired. if they don't make at least the conference title game this year, he's getting shit canned.
I want the top 2 on this list, and that's it.
Oh,
yeah, and they're not debatable. Stephon, even if he's bitching about whatever. Stephon, that's what he does. He was bitching in Minnesota. He's bitching here. Stephon Diggs is going to do his thing. He's going to get his 1,400 yards. Josh Allen, as long as he stays healthy, he's going to do his MVP level thing. He'll be in the top 3 quarterback situation. Gabe Davis at 3, kind of by default, because they don't have much on offense after these two, like Tim was saying. Gabe Davis, I think, is a solid number 2. He's shown flashes. I mean, he's had a couple 3-touchdown games, but it's a consistency thing. Like, you can't plan, every week he's going to get me whatever 7 catches, 90 yards, a touchdown. You can't bank on that every week from this guy. So he's not at the Waddle or the Higgins level of number 2. Number 2s we were talking about. So James Cook.
It was funny last year. So last year, Gabe Davis went off right at the beginning of the season, and I had people chirping in my ears because I told him Gabe Davis was going to be a bust where he was going in drafts. I had people chirping in my ears after he went off the first 2 games, and I'm like, it's 2 games. Wait the rest of the season and watch what happens. And sure enough, Gabe Davis fell off the face of the earth, and I didn't hear another word the rest of the season.
Yep.
And similar to that, I was going to say Devin Duvernay from Baltimore. He went off the first couple games too. So and nobody would say he's a world-beating receiver either. So sometimes it's a misnomer, and the guys that struggle early, have a couple bad games. People lose their patience. They cut them, trade them, whatever, and then you benefit later in the year. So, but yeah, go ahead, Jay.
Davis. I mean, he was actually a wide receiver 1 or 2 for only 26% of the time. So I mean, he's got a little bit of value, but not a lot. I mean, he was more of a ended up being a wide receiver for 60% of the time. So I mean, he's there but not there. I mean, he can have a few splashes.
He's a classic like bye week fill-in guy. Where you can, I have a bye week, week 8, my stud's out. Okay, I got to put somebody in. He's perfect in that because you just said it yourself. About 1 out of every 4 games he's going off. So
pretty much.
Can't trust him the other 3. Can't trust him the other 3, but that one game, that's what whatever your matchup is or your situation, that could put you over the top. So he's that guy.
Let's hope maybe that week he ends up with 100 yards on PD that week.
2 touchdowns, 100 yards.
Yep. So I mean, then the next week he falls off the next 2 weeks. Maybe 30 yards or 50 yards. So other than that, he's just one of those. He's winky. He's a good number 3 receiver. But he's a number 2. He plays like a number 2, but he's getting number 3 targets.
Production of like a 3 or 4. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Yep.
I was gonna say James Cook. We know Singletary's gone, and I know. There's not much to work with here. I mean, I had to make a list, so
he's too little.
It's kind of maybe I could have put tight ends here. Maybe I could put Dawson Knox. Maybe I like Khalil Shakur, the young receiver that probably move up the depth chart this year. Jay might be talking about him in a second, but I like him. He could have potentially been in the 4 or 5 spot. But you know what? I'm going to go with Dalton Kincaid at 5, though, because I think he's got a lot of upside. I'm not a Dawson Knox guy. I don't care if he scores touchdowns. I don't trust him. And there's a reason why the Bills took Kincaid in the first round, because they don't trust him either. Health and production, everything. And this will give Josh Allen a better weapon. I don't know if year 1 he's going to pop, but, a Dynasty League, Kincaid's the guy. Like, tight end-wise, like, year 2, 3, you're really going to benefit, I feel. So those are my top 5. Sleeper would be Shakir. I think he could easily be their number 3 receiver. He probably is from depth charts and whatnot. You guys have to check.
Yeah, I mean, Shakir. I mean, I think he's my sleeper out of these guys. I mean, if he would have caught that long bomb, that would have put him on the freaking radar just a little bit. But it hit the what the heck is it? He actually hit the ground. I was like, oh, dude, no way! It was a nice long bomb, and then they reviewed it. Ball hit the ground. I'm like, God damn it, dude! That would have been a great play.
Yeah.
It was a long bomb. He could have had a touchdown too, but that was kind of a downfall with that. They got rid of McKenzie. He went to the Colts. So hopefully Shakir actually comes in and be as a number 3. I mean, I like his upside. Maybe he can be a little bit better than Gabe Davis, but we'll see. But the thing about that is that the Bills passing, they were 9th overall. The rushing was 9th, which is kind of crazy, just because you wouldn't think that they're going to be almost 50-50-ish. But other than that, they were actually playing pretty damn good. They're passing 66% of the time, with a little bit of rushing 20% of the time, and then to the tight end about 14% of the time. So you can kind of see where it kind of pans out. They're kind of almost 50-50 to a point. I mean, they're passing it quite a bit with a little draw plays and all that nice fun stuff with Cooks, and we'll kind of see, because I had Cooks and they got the addition of Damian Harris. But is Damian Harris gonna be the number 1 guy?
I like him more than Cook.
You like him more than Cook?
Yep, because of he's the bigger back. He's gonna get all the goal line work. He's gonna get and Josh Allen's gonna take too much work from the goal line too. Cook isn't gonna.
Yep.
He's gonna have to break off a big play to be valuable. And I don't want either one.
I agree. Their running back situation's a joke. Singletary wasn't terrible, but he didn't get the opportunities, and same thing with Cook. You could argue Damian Harris, because 2 years ago Damian Harris had double-digit touchdowns. He was like the 2021 Jamal Williams, kind of the running back that came out of nowhere and just exploded. So, Josh Allen, obviously, he'll probably have double-digit rushing touchdowns. So they're going to take away a lot of the work there. Cook would have to have a couple monster games to get his numbers, up around 850, 900 yards. But not Bills aren't working with a lot. They don't have a lot of depth. They're high end. I mean, their peaks are Mount Everest, but just in terms of depth, if something happened to Josh Allen or something happened to Diggs, they'd be screwed.
Yeah. I do like Kincaid though. I like Kincaid. I like his potential.
He's great.
It's just rookie tight ends. They just don't perform.
No, they don't. I mean, a lot of them don't. I mean, if you think about a lot of their first years, a lot of these rookie guys are actually seeing maybe 200, 300 yards in their rookie season. It's not until their next season, maybe some of them might see 500, 600 yards. Just depends on if Knox gets out of there, maybe Kincaid, he could be the 500, 600 guy with 3 touchdowns or whatever it is. But I mean, other than that, since you were talking about Knox here a little bit, even though Kincaid, Knox was actually number 7 in 2021. He was actually 13th in this last year in 2022. He finished 13th.
You want some cookies and milk for Dawson Knox? Oh God!
Yeah, why not? Why not? I mean, if you think about it,
I want him out of the room. He's not he's caught a couple big touchdowns, but fantasy wise, it's one of those. He's like Gabe. The whole team's they're the same guy. Gabe Davis, Dawson. You can trust Dawson Knox about once every 4 games. You need a tight end, like in a flex spot, or you got your main guy is out, that like Evan Ingram or something. So it got a bye week. Dawson Knox, you can pop in there. Yes, I agree with that. But he's inconsistent, and about one every 4 games. So that's his role. He has a spot on the roster, on deep in your bench, and you can use him. But I don't trust him.
I mean, if you think about it, I mean, Knox, he was actually a tight end, tight end 1, or I should say a tight end 12 or tight end 12. Yep. He was 40% of the time. So, I mean, there was a good chance for him to actually finish in the top 12 every week. So, I mean, it's not like he wasn't being used.
With the tight end, though, it's kind of, I mean, that could be misleading. I mean, like a top 12, 40% of the time, top 12 receiver. I mean, that guy's putting up some numbers that week. He's getting targets. Tight end is so skewed. It's like he could have been in the top 12, but had, 3 catches, 42 yards. Like tight ends are, So I get per position. I get what you mean, but I'm just not I'm not a dot. Kincaid. I wish Kincaid would jump him, and then they would be forced to cut Dawson Knox, and he'd be doing he'd be doing a stream with us.
right?
We'll add a fourth screen for him. Go bag my groceries, Dawson.
Oh, that's crazy.
Terrible.
Let's see here quick. Donovan actually had a comment. Donovan says, when are you finished with your team breakdowns? Who's your big trade high guy from what you covered, like Gabe Davis last year?
Guessing we're talking redraft. I'm assuming.
Yeah, I think that I don't know. I guess are you guys happy with what we covered so far, or is there anything else you want to cover with the Bills real quick at all before we just hop into this?
I'm good with the Bills.
No.
Okay. All right, sounds
They're
good.
overrated.
We can answer this then.
I don't know if there is a Gabe Davis in this division this year. If I'm gonna pick somebody, you guys are gonna go, well, why did you pick him as your number one?
Alan Lazard.
Alan
Lazard.
I don't know if you're gonna trade high with him though. I don't know if you're gonna get much out of him because of Garrett Wilson being there. If he was the number one on that team, yeah, I would absolutely say trade high. Okay, he says any format.
Yep.
Honestly, I probably redraft. I would probably say Breece Hall because of the ACL injury and where he's going in draft. I think he's going as like the running back 9 or 10 in redraft right now. Dynasty, I would say Ramondre Stevenson because he's 25. He'll be 26. I can't remember when he turns 26, but he's starting to get up there towards that running back age. And who knows what the Patriots' plans are for the future because their team's not that great to start with. Eventually, they're going to have to start rebuilding and getting younger talent in there. So I would say, well, let me take that back. Dynasty, I'd go Tyreek Hill. He's already said after his contract's up in 2 years, he's gonna retire. I don't think he's got a reason not to. So I would say trade him while he's high. He's going to be probably one of the top 5 receivers this year, more than likely, barring injury. So I would trade Tyreek Hill high in Dynasty.
There you go. I would have to agree with that. I mean, because I think Tua's or not.
It's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah, he'll be the only guy that you could probably trade high for right now before the season started. I'm trying to think. Oh, let's see here.
He's always got the potential to fall off a cliff. I've been waiting for that. I've been waiting for him to lose a step, and who knows? Maybe this is the year. Maybe we're just not seeing it coming. So yeah, you could. I just think with Alan Lazard, obviously he's well behind Garrett Wilson, but I think with his. I don't know. I was just never a fan of his. I always thought he was a number 3. I always thought even in Green Bay with a weak receiving core, he was a number 3. He was never a number 1. Not a good 2. But I just think people are, Aaron Rodgers, he has that rapport and he's gonna maybe for a little bit, but yeah, in the long run, yeah, I think people are higher on Alan Lazard than they should be. I think because he got a bigger contract and Aaron Rodgers parading him around, and that's just my feeling. You got a good point with Tyreek Hill though. What did you say again, Jay? Who do you think?
Oh, I was trying to make up I was actually trying to make up my mind here on some guys here real quick, because I mean there's quite a few of them. I mean I'm trying to think. I think the only guy you could probably try to maybe buy low on is Cooks. If Cooks kind of falls off, I mean I'm pretty sure he could. I'm sure if he kind of has a bad slow to the start, maybe the second half will be a little bit better. I mean, it's his job to lose, honestly. I mean, if you think about it, I mean, Damian Harris coming in, he's a little bit older back, that's for sure. He's a little bit older. I think he's like 28, 29, I think he is. I think I had it written down, but I can't find it right offhand at the moment.
It's another Alabama back. What is it with the water down there?
I don't know. I mean, I like Cooks. I mean, I think if he has a little bit of a slump here at the beginning, I would try to buy low on him. That's me,
yeah. Though. Damian Harris is a major sleeper. Absolutely. I don't think he's 2021 Damian Harris, but maybe later in the year, waiver wire wonder, kind of deal. Absolutely.
I mean, if not, I mean, the other guy I would think of is Shakir. I mean, Shakir could be that. He could be that number 3 guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if Diggs wants out. Like
Yeah.
Shakir, by 2024, this might sound crazy, but Shakir might be the number 1 receiver in Buffalo. If he has a good, productive year this year, and Diggs is going to cause problems and wants out,
Yep.
Shakir might be the number 1 Bills receiver
Yep.
by 2024. Absolutely.
Yep.
So he's
Yep.
got
I think Shakir overtakes Davis, and I think Shakir will be the big guy. Will be the guy that everyone's talking about. So I mean, I think that'll be my take on pretty much
It's okay, man.
on everything. Yeah. I don't know. Let's. How do you guys?
I was gonna say.
Go ahead. I'm listening. Go ahead.
I was
Eli.
gonna say, Jay. Before I wrap up with the book, you're taking my words out of my mouth. Before I wrap up with the book of Eli, I was gonna say, do we have any other football? Like, want to recap anything or?
Just rank the QBs, all 4 of them. Rank them. We'll do the running backs real quick, wide receivers, and maybe just kind of. I think Tim wanted to do that a little bit because he was talking about some of his rankings. Wanted to kind of rank some of the guys.
Sure.
In the division.
Yeah.
I'll just go off. I'll rattle quarterbacks, running backs, and wide receivers off real quick.
Yeah.
Quarterbacks, I got Josh Allen, Tua, because I'm gonna put him number 2 because I'm not gonna judge him based on injury. If he plays a full season, I think he's the 2nd best quarterback in the division. 3rd will be Aaron Rodgers. 4th is obviously Mac Jones. My running backs, I got Ramondre Stevenson, Breece Hall. Who did I have 3rd? I had
Mustard or Wilson.
No, I think I had Wilson. Or no, I actually put Damian Harris because it's TD upside. It's number 3.
Okay.
And then I put A-Chain 4th just because it's upside. I don't want any part of that backfield, but in that division, that's how I would rank those 4. Wide receiver, I'm going to go Tyreek Hill, Stephon Diggs, Garrett Wilson, and then Jalen Waddle. This is number 4.
All
right. Eli?
Wide receivers, we agree 100% on. Quarterbacks, we agree 100% on. Running backs, be a little bit different. Number 1, Ramondre Stevenson, absolutely no question. Breece Hall at 2. I would say 3. Be interchangeable about it. Mostert, Wilson, A-Chain, someone in that group would be 3. And I think Buffalo's got the weakest. And to his point, Damian Harris could be a sleeper there. Right now, as far as depth chart, James Cook is the number 1 back for now. So put him at 4. Tight ends.
Not even worth ranking.
Not even. That's a great point.
Yeah, pretty much.
I never thought I'd say this, but I you know what? You could make a debate. Tyler Conklin might be the best tight end in this division.
I would honestly want Kincaid more, just for the upside, because I've talked about playing him in the slot and not at tight end. So just for the upside of that, but that's
dynasty,
like I said,
dynasty-wise, Kincaid, yes. But for like year-to-year redraft, I'm losing my tongue.
Yeah.
Conklin.
Let's see. Yeah. So I'll go quarterbacks. I think I'll go Allen. I think Rodgers will have a decent. I think I'll rank Rodgers ahead of Tua. Tua might be a little bit better, but I just think Rodgers will end up being better than Tua. And then we will put Mac Jones last. Then wide receivers, I'm gonna go Diggs, and then I'll probably go Wilson, and then I'll go Hill, and then we'll put Waddle up in there. And then running backs, I'll probably end up going. Let's see here. Let me see. I'm not gonna rank the running backs. Just wish-washy anyways. They're all horrible. The only one that's good here is Breece Hall. Breece Hall, and then Ramon. That's it. That's the only 2 you need to worry about. Breece Hall and Ramon. That's it.
I would agree with those 2 being the only 2 that really matter, because I'm not drafting any of the other ones.
Yeah.
But you kind of downplayed Ramondre there.
Yeah, just a little bit. I like
Good.
Brees. I like Brees Hall a little bit more. So I'm gonna talk up Brees all I can. So I'm a
Because
Brees Hall guy.
these other two teams, you don't know if the guy's going to be the starting running back or cut. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's bad.
Yeah.
Bad.
I mean,
Hey Jay, I got to jump off here real quick.
all right.
You mind if I give a quick shout out to my page real quick?
Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
So for those of you who don't know, I run the fantasy football Facebook page called Fantasy Football Life Advice. We're actually getting our leagues going. It's called the 12. So we have 12 leagues of 12 teams per league. We have money leagues as well as a free league. This is our trophy every year. You get your name put on it if you win, and then we send out a ring to the champion of the main league every year. So this is the trophy for the main league. So the winner of each of the 12 leagues plays each other the following year. So all the winners play each other, and the winner of that league every year will get their name put on this one, and I'll send out a ring to the winner of that league as well. So just so you know, come over, check us out, Fantasy Football Life Advice on Facebook, and get involved in the leagues. We still have quite a few openings left.
Yeah, and that's where I had a buddy of mine who actually he got me
Sexy trophy.
Donovan's being a funny guy over there. You know what, Tim? You should actually get a Discord going, because Discord is a little bit funner than Facebook. But no, that's where I found Tim. I had a friend in one of my leagues. He had me join Tim's group on Facebook. It's actually legit. There's none of these other bullshit stuff that kind of happens in these other leagues. There's no bashing. He actually runs a good, decent group, which I'm happy about. I jump in there every once in a while, post some stuff up in there. So yeah, jump over and check out Tim on Facebook. Appreciate your time, Tim. It was actually pretty enjoyable. So I'm sure Eli got a little bit more of a kick out of it than he normally does. So
hey Eli, don't take 8 hours to make a pick. Don't take 8 hours to make a pick, Eli.
Tim, out of respect for you, I won't. You're welcome back anytime. And the name we won't mention, you're an upgrade over him, and you're welcome on the show anytime.
All right, guys, we'll see you later.
Damn trophy.
All right, we'll see you, Chad. Or not Chad. See you, Tim. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
I said Chad. I'm like, how dare me? But yes, that was.
We said it. I say it again, Chad. Man,
it was great.
Yeah, they don't even know about that.
No, I appreciate.
That was great. Yeah, so dude, I love. Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah, it was great. I'm glad he had some time for us. Tim, it was great to actually get you on. I know we've been talking back and forth for a little bit over a year and whatnot. So, and I know he kind of want to get into some pods and stuff like that or whatever. And I know he's a pretty knowledgeable guy and whatnot too as well. He puts a lot of work into what he does too. And I figured it's like, hell, let's get him on the show and see what he has to say. So.
I need to be flanked by knowledgeable people, because we know where I stand. So that's why I got Jay and now Tim, Donovan when we do the baseball talk. I love being surrounded by knowledgeable people. I'll be the first to admit. But let's do one more segment. We'll get up out of here. I want to see your thoughts, because you follow hockey, here and there.
I do a little bit.
I've been blown away by the Golden Knights, like since they were they started up in 2017. They were the first professional sports team, before the Aces and before the Raiders, and the A's will eventually be there. Before all these teams came to Vegas, this was the original Vegas team. And dude, they had their best season this year. They're up 2-0 in the Stanley Cup Finals over the Panthers. I think they're going to close. I think they'll win in 5. And it'd be great to see the Knights get their first Stanley Cup. 6 out of 6 seasons they've had 6 winning seasons. They haven't had a single losing season yet. 5 of the 6 years they've made the playoffs. Half the time,
wow, that's impressive.
3 out of 6 division titles, 2 out of 6 Stanley Cup Finals appearances, including their first year back in 2017, 2018. So I've just been super blown away. Obviously, I would have liked to see my Lightning in there, but it was first round exit. I mean, that'll happen. Lightning they've kind of been the standard bearer in the NHL the last few years. So, but I like the Golden Knights. It's good, good to see them up there. I'll just see what you think. I think it's great for the NHL. They're expanding. The Kraken made the. I know we were talking about, they got a badass logo and seeing a Kraken game, maybe, see a Kraken Wild game or something. They made the second round. I mean, they went to 7 games in their second round series. They almost made it to the conference finals too. So it's good to see all these new franchises kind of doing really well.
I was, the funny thing is this weekend I was actually talking to another guy. He's pretty much into football too as well, and we were actually talking about hockey just a little bit because we were talking about college and how some of these college guys should format getting these to transition into the NFL. Should teach these college guys to get their 2 feet down instead of 1 feet down in college than compared to football. And if they actually were taught this right away at the beginning, then this would actually pan out for them in the long run, And so how this came into play is, it was the Seattle Kraken. They were an expansion team. They were horrible last year. All of a sudden, this year they're great. So what he was trying to explain to me was that the NHL should actually do a little bit something different when it comes to expansion teams and drafts and stuff like that, so that a lot of this stuff doesn't happen right away offhand. Because for an expansion team to all of a sudden just jump up to be in the playoffs, that's unheard of. But I mean, I think it was just like the Knights. They were an expansion team and they weren't good. The next year they were already in the playoffs. So, but other than that, I mean, hockey guys love it. I don't really watch hockey all too much. I'll catch a game here and there. I did a little bit, but it's nice to see the Panthers, and maybe the Panthers can win a championship if they get their shit together. But other than that, be nice to see the Knights to get some gold down that way. Either way, they need some they need some gold down there.
I remember the Panthers when I was a kid. That series they had, I think it was against the Avalanche in '96 when I was a little kid. Like the Panthers, they made their only other Stanley Cup appearance, and yeah, it's good to see them. They've been kind of a bad franchise before, and it's good to see them up and running. But I mean, I think it's good, and you can't say that about every franchise. The Columbus Blue Jackets, they've pretty much been like the laughing. They're pretty much like what the Texans are, or the Cardinals, kind of laughing stock of the league. And they've been around, almost 25 years, and they haven't made a conference final yet. So it's crazy to see what the Kraken and Golden Knights are doing. I think it's good for the league because then that'll bring more cities into the fold. Like, hey, we, whatever, Sioux Falls, if Sioux Falls, South Dakota wanted a team, like, it's good to know, like, hey, within a couple of years, we can be good. I like what they're doing now. I know it's kind of, we're so used to the NFL and how, usually it takes teams a few years to get rolling, and in the NHL, these guys are good right away, it seems like. But yeah, no, it'll be an interesting, and maybe we'll probably end up talking, or at least have it on the scroll, like if the Knights close it out or if the Panthers come back. But yeah, it should be a good rest of the series.
Yeah, for sure.
That was the Book of Eli. Book is it's closed.
There you go. Well, I mean, not a bad show. Almost 2 hours, but I mean, hey, I mean, when you're breaking down, talking about divisions, yeah, it's gonna. I mean, I think last year we had it done about with an hour 30 minutes, give or take, and it wasn't too bad. But yeah, this is only one of 7 or one of 8 shows where we'll be ended up breaking down the divisions.
We got
talking
7
about
more
divisions.
to go, baby.
Yep, we do. It's gonna be a nice long haul. Maybe we'll try to get maybe a baseball show in there in between these shows, just to have have a little baseball in there yet. But yeah, we're trying to get all these previews out before the NFL season starts, so that anybody wants to go back and take a look or take a listen, these will be on hand. So I mean, it's always fun to talk about some divisions either way. And but yeah, other than that, make sure you guys actually follow us on Discord. The link is actually in the description. So if you guys want to join our Discord, go ahead and jump up in there. I want to try to grow our Discord this year. Yeah, good thing it was 2 hours so I could catch a bunch of it. Yeah, Donovan. Yeah, I know you're a busy person over there, so we always appreciate your time. That's for sure. And I always appreciate
Love you, baby.
your baseball content as well too. But yes, well, hopefully with football seasons getting with training camp coming, more people find us word of mouth. So just just everybody, just word of mouth. I was out vacationing. I was out, down somewhere playing. It was called Press Start. You played some old school video games, and I ended up start talking to bartender about football. And next thing you know, I'm like, hey, dude, I got a podcast. Yada
We
yada
got a
yada.
show!
So I'm trying to promote my show and whatnot. So I'm just all kinds of crazy stuff. So, but if you can't catch our live, make sure you join or follow us on Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcasts. Because I mean, I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of people that are always busy. I mean, Eli, he says he's always busy, but he's just in the corner just looking at dirty magazines. But other than that, but other than that, if you don't catch our show, catch us on all these platforms. But yes, I think that. Is there anything else you want to say, Eli, quick before we get up out of here?
Oh, I just want to thank everybody for tuning in. Like I said, it's word of mouth. Like we don't spend any money on like I don't know if it's like that now, but Facebook used to pay money and then they'd send your stuff all around and all these different places. Like we don't spend any money on advertisement. Like we have our Canva app that we use and we put time into the show. So we appreciate everybody and all the contributors. Tim tonight and Donovan as always and. It's the other guy. The other guys, even what happened with Chad, the Palazzo. They've always been good to us. So, we want to thank everybody. But yeah, it's to help spread the word. That's the best thing you can do if you want to help us. If you want to help, anybody, you could be a novice. I mean, I'm not the most knowledgeable fantasy football guy. Jay's got quite a bit, and Tim, but I mean, we make it work. But this is very novice friendly. Like we're very entry level. So if somebody is just casually interested, or you have a wife or a girlfriend or a buddy that does this, just a casual fantasy guy, I think they'd like the show, and we try to be entertaining for you guys. So yeah, that's the best thing you can do to help us is spread the word and just let it go where it may. So.
Make sure if you do find our stuff on Google or Spotify or Apple, hey, leave us a review. I mean, leave us those nice little gold stars.
That helps too. Yeah, review.
Yeah, that helps as well.
Yeah, we don't pay for any advertising, so that we're not getting our stuff's not on all these different web pages and whatnot. I mean, it's old school word of mouth. So.
Yeah, I think that's about right. So hopefully maybe maybe we can get some more subs. Maybe we can get to 400. Maybe we can get to 400 people liking us. So
that'd be nice.
Yes, that would be
goals,
as well.
Life goals. Tim's a fantasy football life advisor, and we got life goals too.
Yep.
It's a great feeling.
It is.
Wednesday night, baby.
It is. But well, we appreciate everybody that did join us tonight. It was a nice long haul. I'm hot. I'm sticky. It's hot over here.
Me too.
Yeah, it's not fun. That's about right. But
yeah, let's get sexy.
All right, guys. From Outer Rhythm, I'm Jamie. That's Eli. We appreciate your time. We'll see you again either next Tuesday or next Wednesday. We are up out of here. Later.